Here's why you know what to do, but you still don't do it. Self-worth is the missing link. It's going to be hard for you to see results without self-worth. Okay, so like when it comes down to conscious parenting, gentle parenting, peaceful parenting, you can watch all the videos, watch all the YouTubes, do all the courses, but if you do not recognize your value just for existing, not because you have to earn it, but if you don't recognize your value, how valuable you are, how precious you are, how powerful you are, if you do not recognize that about yourself, then it's going to feel like there's a constant self-sabotage thing happening where like you know what to do, but you're not doing it, right? And then we project that the reason we're not doing it is because of X, Y, and Z, when really that's not the case. You will do what you want to do and what you need to do when you give yourself permission to recognize that you are worthy of the fruits that come with doing so. If you don't think that you are worthy of wealth, then your body will not take the action to do the things that needs to do to acquire wealth. If you do not recognize that you are worthy of peace and unconditional love, unconditional self-forgiveness, and speaking to yourself from love and compassion, acceptance and optimism, if you do not recognize or give yourself permission to recognize that you are worthy of that, you will every day you will notice your body is not taking the action that results with you experiencing and living a life and co-creating relationships from the awareness that you are worthy of peace, joy, and love and unconditional forgiveness. You cannot consistently do anything that reflects self-worth, self-respect, and self-love, and that you are worthy of love, unconditional compassion and forgiveness, if you are not believing that you are worthy of those. You are worthy of peace, unconditional love, and unconditional forgiveness. You will self-sabotage if you do not give yourself permission to acknowledge that you are worthy of unconditional love and wealth. Part of the reason that you don't believe you are worthy of unconditional love and wealth is because we have generational patterns of not believing that we are worthy of that. You are the cycle breaker. When those thoughts arise that reflect the generational trauma that's been passed down, stay aware of all of it. That is how you hold space for all of the generational trauma that has been passed down. Hold space for it. Stay aware of it. This is how you transcend it, and then your patterns will reflect that transcendence. Self-sabotage can look like having all of the tools and resources that many of our ancestors never had, that many of those who came before you never had, regarding self-regulation, awareness, the power and love that you are at your core, and still never applying not even one of those tools, resources, or methods consistently, not because you're not capable, but because we're still operating without the remembrance that you are worthy. As I've stated before in the third book that I wrote, Guided by Grace, which is available to you for free download, and as I've stated in many of the sessions that I've had with parents in the past, one of the ways to really let it click that you are worthy of unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness, and of creating a life that feels good and true for you, ask yourself the following question. Why wouldn't I be worthy of a healthy relationship? Why wouldn't I be worthy of creating a life of abundance, joy, peace, and happiness? Why wouldn't I be worthy of creating segments throughout my day to self-regulate and to release the trapped and suppressed energy so that I can take my power back instead of suppressing all that energy and projecting it onto others? Why wouldn't I be worthy of transmuting energy, shifting it from anger, rage, and those lower levels of consciousness to acceptance, joy, bliss, happiness, so I can create my life from that level of consciousness? Why wouldn't I be worthy of wealth and health? Why wouldn't I be worthy? No matter what your mind comes up with as to why you wouldn't be worthy of it, give yourself permission to acknowledge that there's actually no valid reason why you're not worthy of unconditional forgiveness, unconditional love. There are only the concepts that man has created about why one should feel guilt and shame for the rest of their lives. There are only words and thoughts. But what comes before a word? What came before a thought? Thoughts and words and concepts. It's the only thing that can ever appear as a reason why you're not worthy. And those hold no weight in the grand scheme of things. In reality, you are already forgiven. You are already loved. Each moment is a blank slate. The past is gone. The future isn't here now. The present moment is all you ever have. And in this present moment, regardless of the past, you are free. Choose wisely what you do with this freedom. Be intentional with the power that you have in this present moment, the power to choose, the power to be clear and aware of what you want. What's the type of relationship you want to have with yourself and with your child? Get clear about this. You are worthy of consistency, peace, and love. But me knowing that and me telling you that only goes so far. Will you dare to start to believe that for yourself? The moment you give yourself permission to acknowledge that you are worthy of peace, consistency, love, presence, bliss, joy, acceptance, awareness, the moment you give yourself permission to acknowledge that, your relationship with abundance, parenthood, your intimate relationships, everything will transform and will continue to transform in ways that blow your mind.